Good morning, YouTubers, Canal Rats. Thanks for coming along. And welcome to this edition of Saturday Mornings with Paul K. My name is Paul K. and we're on Striperquest. And hoping to catch some stripers in the Cape Cod Canal. Beautiful Cape Cod Canal. And if you like, subscribe, and smash that like button and comment, then you know what to do. This morning we're on the west tide. The tide is going this way, and which is not my favorite tide, but it is what it is. They say, my intel is saying that they're getting good hits in this area on that, and I'm breaking sacrilegious rules this week. I got mac chunks and squid. I saw squid earlier. I might come down later at night and try for some squid, but there's squid in here, so we'll try that, give that a whirl. So we'll let you know. Buttermilk sky over Buttermilk Bay, and need stripers to cooperate. Trail boss, let you know. And so just off that little teeny point there, within the last half hour, two guys have come up with their fishing gear, literally no more than 2 casts, and then leave. Come on, guys. You gotta give it time. It's fishing. They're not gonna jump on your hook. Usually, I believe they're probably out of staters. You gotta fish. You have to put the time in. Really, I mean, it's a legendary place, yes, but it's not easy. And, you know, when they're blitzing, it might be easy, but they ain't blitzing right now. You gotta fish for them. You have to fish for them. It's fishing. I know you traveled a long way. I know you come from far away, and this place is all that, but you gotta fish. Next one, let's do that. I'm gonna film it and I'll show you. I mean, they just come up, throw 2 casts, and that's it. And maybe they're having a good time, but they're not getting fish. If they're hoping for a blitz, that might work, but you gotta fish, dude. Just saying. And today's conditions are big, fat, full moon up there last night. And the tide just switched from east to west. Temperature is high 70s, and the humidity's dropped. Very comfortable out here. The sun keeps coming in and out. We got a buttermilk sky, and we're giving it a swing with mac chunks and squid. And we're gonna have the contest. The mac chunks is gonna be on the pen, and the squid is gonna be on the van stall. So we'll see which one wins. And barometric pressure is, this morning was 30.01 and steady, and wind is out of the southwest at 12 miles an hour. And those are our conditions today at the beautiful Cape Cod Canal. And absolutely wonderful day. Very lucky this year having these days that I come down here. I mean, it's been pretty good all year so far, all season. So I'll let you know what happens. And I'll show you guys how I'm hooking the squid. So it's basically simple. Get your hunk of squid on there and make sure that gap wide open, because that's what's going to catch you your fish. Wide open. That's going to hook onto the side of the mouth. So that's all simple. And if the squid looks good enough, I want to eat it. You can do sushi with them too, but I don't know how long that's been frozen. That's bait squid. Still eat it though. I don't turn down too much food. And there's 2 guys here that are losing the stripe and living the life. They're casting away. They got the hang of it, and I wish them stripers. And today's segment of the show, normally I'm trying to include some type of really cool gadget or something, you know, it's something worthwhile. But let's see if I can grab this off my surf bag, the old surf bag. But this thing's really worth mentioning. So this thing, it looks lame. It is not lame, believe me. I don't even know what it's called, but see, Boomerang Tool Company. I got it at Monahan's Marine in Quincy, and it's not cheap. It's about 20-25 bucks, but what it is it's a line cutter, and it's not your ordinary line cutter. These tips, I mean, you know, I have knives with S40D steel that braid Kevlar will not cut. It just dulls the blade. The most boutique steel on the planet, and it's honed to a razor edge, and the Kevlar just absolutely dulls the blade. This here, I've yet to have it fail once. It cuts through like butter, absolutely like butter. Braid or anything, 50-80 pound test for liter material, and absolutely well worth every penny. I've never had it fail once. It's attached to a geek clip, like a fly fisherman type reel that subtracts it back onto your surf bag. But this thing is really worth its weight in gold. You can trim up your Alberto knots real close, and any type of knots, and the value is it cuts through braid like butter, and absolutely worth it. If you can find these, it retracts into it like that, keeps it closed, and you just push up on it and it pops out. But worth every penny. I ain't sponsored by anybody, but these guys make a really great product, and it just the orientation of those blades doesn't look like it's any kind of special steel, but it just cuts everything. So get you one, let you know. So the gentleman to the left is throwing a swimmer paddle tail. The gentleman to the right is jigging on the bottom, so they got the middle water column covered, the bottom covered, and I'm on bait. And there's got to be fish here somewhere. We're trying. So I don't know how well, like I showed last week, that cormorant's nest on top of that tower. There's a seagull that keeps harassing them, and every time that seagull gets close to that nest, that mother goes kind of berserk. If you can see that seagull getting close, I don't know what the seagull's looking for, but that mother looks like she's ready to defend. As would any mother be. Seagulls are flying rats. Also, I'm going to add this super insider tip for fishermen of fresh and salt water. If you have a lucky fishing hat like mine, looks nasty looking thing, but this holds a lot of the luck. Look at that thing. It's got soul. But the tip today is never, ever, ever, under any circumstance, wash this thing. As nasty as that thing is and all ripped up, the more nasty and ripped up it gets, the more trips it goes on, the more luck is concentrated in it. So today's tip is, if you wash this, you wash all the luck out. There's no science behind it, but ask any fisherman that has a lucky fishing hat. The more soul it's got, the more power it's got. So that's today's tech tip. If you guys have any superstitions like that, which I'm sure every fisherman does, let me know. Reach in the comments below. I'll let you know. So to prove that last point about washing your hat, there was a private pirate ship off of Wellfleet called the Widow, and it sank, and it had so much gold bullion and treasure on it. It was a full-on real pirate ship, and it ran aground. The skipper, Black Bellamy, he's a pirate. He spent all a few years gathering up all the treasure, and he smashed into a sandbar in the northeast, and it sunk the ship, and all that treasure laid out, and it went for hundreds of years in the beaches of Wellfleet. And at dead low neap tide, you could freaking stub your toe on gold bars and queen's crowns for hundreds of years. It sat there until a salvager from Florida, I think it was Mel Fisher, came up and salvaged it. But the point I'm trying to make is he washed his tri-corner hat, and that's why that ship sank. So don't wash your good luck fishing hat. And if you believe that, I'll tell you another one. Well, about 3 hours in, and guys to the left of me and guys to the right of me. Not a sniff. Not a touch on the bait either. Keep on rolling. Let you know. So buried within this video, here's today's tech tip. I told you guys when it's slow, I'll give up some stuff. So if you go to Red Top Sporting Goods, or if you go to Canal Bait Tackle, they'll sell, I mentioned this in the beginner's guide, but I'm going to want to elaborate on it. They sell maps of the Cape Cod Canal. You can't find them online. They blur them out, so you got to buy them. They're not expensive. They're like 10 bucks, 12 bucks, not even. I don't know, they're light money, but very important about these maps for people that really don't know the canal, and even guys that fish it. Like I had mentioned in the instructional video, there's markers along the canal. It's every 50 feet, numbered poles, and those maps show the designated poles over the decades, probably centuries, maybe not centuries, it hasn't been in a century, but the holes are marked, like Hobo Jungle, or Grossman's, or the Cribbins and stuff like that, and they'll give pole numbers, and those pole numbers correspond. You walk along the service road of the canal, and say pole 265, you find that pole, look on the map whereabouts it is in the canal in relation to on the map, park in that area, go down into the canal, find that pole number, and that's where the hole is. Now, condense all that information, write it all down on a piece of paper, and each week or every day that you decide to come down here, pick a different spot and correspond to those pole numbers, either on the mainland side or on the Cape Cod side, and find those holes. And as opposed to just looking around to see, I mean, during the 3 weeks in the spring and three weeks in the fall of the major migration, and just shooting in the dark looking for other people on, do your own fishing. Find those holes and drop in, and those holes, they're freaking reliable, man. I mean, that's the stuff, you know, guys that fish here all the time use. And also sight. You keep your eyes open and watch the waters and pick up on what type of bait's in the water and all that, match that hatch. So between that, you find out which bait is going on here, and the reliable fishing spots according to those maps. That's about as good a chance as you get. You know, I mean, aside from seeing an actual blitz, that's the best way to go about it. That's gold right there. That's a nugget. And so that's this week's tech tip on the Cape Cod Canal. And just to add a little bit more to that tip, as you get better at the canal, you're going to find your own holes, and just keep a log and write down exactly where the fishing was good. Write those pole numbers down, and where the fishing wasn't so good, write those pole numbers down. Doesn't mean it ain't going to be good the next day, because these are schooling fish and they come on by. But that's how you do it, and then you build up a logbook of reliable holes for yourself, and you don't give those holes to numbers to nobody, and that info to nobody, because you work for that, and you deserve to keep it to yourself. I mean, unless you're taking your brother or something, or someone you can really, really trust, but even then, I'd have to kill him after the session, you know? So, that's how you get information. You just work at it, log it down, and you get, you know, that's how you build up a reliable source of where the stuff is. And if you got close friends, they'll give you intel. You'll hear the word intel thrown around a few of the fishermen. And they're sharing information, where this is happening, and so forth. So, but if you burn your own, you know, as the more you fish, the more you get to know this place. Write down your spots according to those pole numbers, and then you won't forget, because it's a big place. It's 7 miles long and 6 on the other side, and it's a little science to it. There's a lot of science to it, but every second of it is a blast, man, and you're surrounded by beauty and nature. So, like we said at the beginning of the video, avoid the strife, enjoy the life, you know, basically. So as evening approaches, more fishermen are coming out, and as the canal rule number one goes, no matter what side you're fishing on, the fish will be breaking on the other side, and that's happening right in this area. And then moving up, the fish are pushing bait. I believe it's a rain bait, small little bait, down up against the rocks over there, and all on private beaches there. And we're over here. But working on my tan, man, getting pretty canified, and it's been about 6.5 hours now, so I think I'll probably close it. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and had a wonderful time this week as usual. Feel all de-stressed. There's the Mississippi Queen rolling by again, and please like and subscribe and so forth and so on, and we'll catch you next week, same rat time, same rat channel, and we'll go again. Something's got to give. If something else happens, I'll let you know. Otherwise, sailboats out. Have a good week, guys. Bye.